Slide 9. Again, please make sure that you are watching and listening to the video and that you're writing down everything. The length of a rectangle is 5 centimeters less than twice the width. The area is 75 square centimeters. And that just means whenever you find something, you're filling in the inside, and that's with squares. That's why they did that. Find the length and the width. All right, so there's going to be a lot of different steps. So the first thing is we need to know the area is going to be length times width. We know that we have a rectangle, so we're going to draw a rectangle. Everything that you do, like underlining and putting boxes and pictures and formulas, that's setting up the question, which can earn you points. So make sure that you're writing down all the stuff that you know, because you can be gathering points that way. Okay, now the next piece is going to be a little bit harder. We're talking about this 5 centimeters less than twice the width. And this is somewhere that people are going to commonly make mistakes. You have your 5 and then less than, subtract. 5 centimeters less than twice the width, and then twice the width is going to be this. Just for the sake of keeping things kind of consistent again, I'm going to use x for width, so that this is not correct. Because when you have less than, it implies that you're taking away from. And so it's kind of like, we can think of it as like a switch word or a reverse word. So you need to take this 5 away from the 2 x's. So you actually are starting off with 2x, and your 5 goes at the end like this with your minus sign in the middle. We're taking 5 away from twice the width. And that's going to be your length. So that's like this, 2x minus 5. And your width, we don't know what it is, so we're going to use an x because that's what I defined it as up here in my question. Okay. So now we're going to plug it into that formula that I had. The area is means equals. So in the place of a, I can put 75. The length we said was 2x minus 5. And then we're going to multiply that by our width, which is x. Okay. So this is what we have, and I'm zooming in so it doesn't look as complicated. When you only have one letter, you can do the trick that I have been showing you using Desmos, where we type in the left and we type in the right. And this is not going to work for us, and hopefully you're thinking what you need to do before you type in 75 on Desmos. I'm going to go ahead and type it in to give your brain a little bit of time to see if it can remember what to do. And you're typing this in with me, so scroll down and let's type these in. So we had 75, and I'm going to go back to a home screen so I can just kind of zoom out just to that 75. Okay, nothing happened because Desmos thinks that I'm going to do a calculator, so I need to remember how to make a graph. So in the meantime, I'm going to type this in, 2x minus 5, and then an x in parentheses after that. We're multiplying. Okay, hopefully by now you're remembering what you need in front of that 75 to make it graph, and that's a y equals. Okay. Now we're going to zoom into those places. We're finding where they cross each other. So what we're going to do is we are going to make notes that it's crossing right there at a -5 and a positive 7.5, and both of the y values are 75. So again, as a part of getting your points, we are going to sketch what we see. Okay, we're going to write y equals to remind us that's how we did that. We're going to reinforce that, and then we're going to draw our graph, and it looked like that and that, and one of these answers was -575, and this one over here was 7.575. Remembering in a point, it goes x, y, and so the answers are x. So some of you might be thinking there's a problem because that gives me 2x values, and I'm just asking for what is the width. There's not 2 answers. If I'm asking for a measurement, the measurement is not going to be negative. This answer doesn't make sense in this real life situation. So our answer is just going to be 7.5. Okay. We are going to have to go in and do some catching up here in just a minute. So let's go ahead and do that. What is the expression for the length? And the length, we said, was 2x minus 5. So we're going to write that in, 2x minus 5. What is the expression for the width? That's the other side. We're going to call that x. And in the question, I'm telling you to use x as your variable to make sure that they're coded the same. If you don't use x, it's not going to be counted as correct. All right, so we did the next part, and we actually have what x equals, so we can fill that in. 7.5. And that's 7.5 centimeters. So now we need to plug in those numbers. So if x is 7.5, to find the length, okay, we would say 2 times 7.5 and then minus 5. That's going to be how we find the length. And the width is plugging in 7.5 where x is, and that's all that's there. So that one's just 7.5. So let's go in on Desmos and go ahead and type that in so we can figure out what the length is. So we have 2 times 7.5 minus 5. And the answer for our length is going to be 10. Please make sure again that you are typing this in with me. The more you type in, the better you're going to get. And I'm going to go ahead and write that here. So we've got points for marking up the question, for showing our work, for showing what we're doing on Desmos, sketching what we got whenever we type stuff in. All of those things will help get you all of your points. Please make sure that you have all of those answers filled in the way that I do so that you get full credit for this question on Schoology.